Hello, my name is Nathan from Nathan Doherty Law, PA, and today we're going to discuss summary administration and homestead. I'm an estate attorney in Florida. I do probate administration, summary administration, uh, formal administration, ancillary administration. I prepare deeds, last will and testament, trusts, living wills, powers of attorney, things of that nature. Now, today we're discussing summary administration and homestead. Summary administration is a faster and simplified version of the formal probate process. And it's for estates that are under $75,000. That does not include homestead. Homestead is not valued. It also does not include exempt assets like 2 cars. So generally, when we talk about summary homestead assets, the assets are usually what's only in the bank account, or stocks, or even a piece of land, like a lot in another county or what have you. As long as all those assets combined are less than $75,000. Again, we do not include the value of the home. Okay. So this is a very basic overview of summary administration in Florida only. I do not know anything about probate in any other state. This does not qualify as legal advice. If you need legal advice, feel free to give me a call and I'll be more than happy to help you out. So let's get on with the PowerPoint presentation here. It starts with case initiation. You're going to call me. We're going to discuss things. I decide whether we're going to do summary, formal, things of that nature. Once we're done with that phone call, I send you a DocuSign of my probate agreement, and you make payment via a payment link or some other form of payment that we've agreed to. Okay. Once you make payment and complete the DocuSign, that initiates the case. Either that day, unless it's late in the afternoon, it'll be the next morning. You're going to receive 2 Word documents from me. And you need to complete those. One is an heirs form, which is basically the family tree of the decedent, which is the person who passed away. I need to know who the decedent's mom and dad were, who the brothers and sisters were or are, who the spouse is or was. Same with brothers and sisters, children and children's children. Okay. There's also another basic information form that you need to complete as well. Now you're going to complete both of those documents and you're going to email or fax them back to me with a copy of the death certificate, a copy of the spouse's death certificate, if there is one, and also a copy of the will, again, if there is one. Please don't remove staples or bindings from the will because that could invalidate the will. Now, once I receive all those documents, I start working on the probate paperwork that we're going to later submit to the court. Now, the originals, the only original paperwork that I need mailed to my office are the death certificate and the will. Now, you've already emailed them to me, and I'm already preparing the probate paperwork to send to you. In the meantime, after, however long the postal service takes, anywhere from a couple days to a week to get the originals. All right. Now, all the documents that you need to fully administer probate, or that I fully need to fully administer probate, excluding litigation, because we are only talking about administration. Litigation is a whole nother process. They're all going to be emailed to you. You're going to print the paperwork, you're going to bring them to a notary public, and then you're going to sign and notarize where indicated, and you're going to email the forms back to me. That's how the whole process is going to go. You don't need to go to court. I will not go to court. You don't have to come to Florida if you don't wish to come to Florida. So everything can be done from the comfort of your own home. Now, court filing. Now, once I receive all those documents and the originals, I file the case with the probate court. I then wait for a case number, and that could take anywhere from, a day or 2 to 3 up to 3 weeks, and that depends on the county that we're probating in. Some are quicker, some are slower. The average wait time, though, to get a case number is usually only a few days. Now, we also have to do formal notice and or waivers to all beneficiaries. Beneficiaries are the only ones who get notice. So all beneficiaries and only beneficiaries are going to receive formal notice of the petition of summary administration. All right. Now, if they are all on the same page, I can email waivers of formal notice to move things along a little bit quicker. Because if formal notice is basically certified mail, then I have to wait for that return receipt to come back. If they sign waivers, we can proceed faster. Now, I also have to publish a notice to creditors in the newspaper. Now, if the death was within 2 years, all known creditors they're the creditors that we actually know about. They're going to be provided notice, and a notice to creditors will be published in the newspaper for all unknown creditors. Then there's a 90-day waiting period. That starts after I receive a case number on the first day of publication. Now, known creditors have 30 days to file a claim, while unknown creditors have 90 days from the publication to make a claim. We must wait the full 90 days, and if nothing happens during that time, don't be surprised, because that's generally just a dead period. So please be patient, and you can mark that 90 days on the calendar, and you will hear from me roughly around that time. Now, if the death was outside of 2 years, if the death was longer than 2 years ago, then we don't have to deal with creditors because they're barred from collection anyway. That moves things along a lot faster because you save that 90-day notice to creditor period. Okay. Now, after the notice to creditor period expires, 90 days have gone. We're on the 91st day. And that's when an order is then drafted and submitted to the judge for signature. Now, waiting for the judge's signature usually takes anywhere from a week to 8 weeks, depending on the county and depending on the judge. The average wait time is about a month. Some counties do take longer, and they take up to 2 months. Other counties are actually quicker. But like I said, the average wait time is 1 month. Now, the reason we probated is so that you, the beneficiaries, can get the summary order. And that's signed by the judge. Once that's signed, probate is now over. All right. Now, each beneficiary deals with the bank separately to obtain his or her share of the proceeds with a copy of the order. Now, I get that order, probate's over. You have an order. Everybody gets emailed a copy of that order. You go to the bank and say, hey, bank, I have an order. How do I get my money? And the bank will then tell you what hoops they want you to jump through. But usually you have to fill out a couple pieces of paper, submit a death certificate and a copy of the order, and then they will give you your money. You do not have to be in Florida to do that. You can always call the bank or email them, send them the documents that they need, and they can mail you a check. So again, you will not need to come to Florida to have to collect your funds. Now, homestead. Homestead is not technically an asset of probate. However, we deal with it during the probate process. Now, like the summary order for other assets, such as a lot, bank accounts, money market accounts, that sort of thing, you get a summary order that we just discussed. For homestead, you're going to get a homestead order signed by the judge. Now, homestead's exempt from creditors, all creditors, including myself. We still need to abide by the 90-day notice to creditor period, though. So if it's within 2 years, it's going to take 90 days before I could submit that order. If it's outside of 2 years, then we don't have to do a notice to creditors, and we could get you your homestead order very quickly. Now, before a homestead order is signed by a judge, putting the homestead into the names of the beneficiaries, another round of formal notice. Remember the certified mail we talked about earlier? That will be sent out, or I will prepare waivers for everybody to sign and return to me. And then I submit those to the court. Now once I submit the homestead order to the judge for signature, that's the same process that we just discussed with the summary order. The judge will sign it. It takes anywhere from 1 week to 8 weeks. Usually they're signed together and probate's over at the same time. Every once in a while, a judge will sign the homestead order first and then the summary order. So that's how we deal with homestead. That's my basic overview of the summary probate process in Florida. If you have any questions, feel free to give me a call. I do appreciate you watching my video, and I hope everybody has a good day.